enough sky. What am I the thorn in your eye? Too much sun and not enough sky. What am I the thorn in your eye? Too much sun and not enough sky. I'm lost again, but I gotta maintain. Too much sun and not enough sky. What am I the thorn in your eye?
Hello everybody and welcome to race number 25 of Season 3 NASCAR Walmart Cup Series. I am Levi McIntyre, aka Thrash Maniac 99, the voice of NASCAR Walmart Cup Series, here to welcome you to the second to the last race of the regular season before the chase. Welcome to the Piggzcreek 500 at Piggzcreek Superspeedway in California. This is going to be an exciting race because we are at an over 4-mile round superspeedway track where this track is so wide and so fast you can go 6 wide, even 7 wide, and make it work, but just be careful as to not leaning on each other. And since this is the second to the last race of the regular season before the chase starts, winning a race is going to be important for some of these drivers who have only one win but are within the top 25 in points. Guys like Rue McIntyre, Kendall Maynor, and a lot of other drivers who would like to get a win and hope to get another one in order to get a wild card spot. Now, with this race on lap number 1, we are going to be having the first lap be silent to pay tribute to the recently passed away sprint car racer Kevin Ward Jr. after the freak accident that took place at in New York between him and Tony Stewart. And so yeah, lap number 1 will be a silent first lap to pay tribute to Kevin Ward Jr. May he rest in peace. But ladies and gentlemen, let's see the starting lineup for today's race.
Imagine the dreams of a 13-year-old looking up at the sky, wondering how the world can be so cold. This kid wasn't sold it would be like this. At nighttime wishes to be safe from this abyss, cause this shit is something that can be dismissed. A boy born as a girl who is going through the stress. He's got a shotgun but can't play for the team. His school won't let him even though it's his dream.
Hello everybody and welcome to race number 25 of Season 3 NASCAR Walmart Cup Series. I am Levi McIntyre, aka Thrash Maniac 99, the voice of NASCAR Walmart Cup Series, here to welcome you to the second to the last race of the regular season before the chase. Welcome to the Piggzcreek 500 at Piggzcreek Superspeedway in California. This is going to be an exciting race because we are at an over 4-mile round superspeedway track where this track is so wide and so fast you can go 6 wide, even 7 wide, and make it work, but just be careful as to not leaning on each other. And since this is the second to the last race of the regular season before the chase starts, winning a race is going to be important for some of these drivers who have only one win but are within the top 25 in points. Guys like Rue McIntyre, Kendall Maynor, and a lot of other drivers who would like to get a win and hope to get another one in order to get a wild card spot. Now, with this race on lap number 1, we are going to be having the first lap be silent to pay tribute to the recently passed away sprint car racer Kevin Ward Jr. after the freak accident that took place at in New York between him and Tony Stewart. And so yeah, lap number 1 will be a silent first lap to pay tribute to Kevin Ward Jr. May he rest in peace. But ladies and gentlemen, let's see the starting lineup for today's race. Alright, well they are getting ready to go racing. Moment of silence for lap number 1. But boogity boogity boogity, let's go racing, boys and girls. Well, that was the first lap of silence to pay tribute to Kevin Ward Jr. Now, during that first lap, Rue McIntyre had the lead, but now here comes Zachary Fitzwater, and look at this big-time racing back here, going 4 wide and 5 wide. Look at this, 5 wide up here. Oh, man, they are kind of leaning. They are leaning. They've somehow gotten off each other for now, and they have settled it out. 5 wide, 6 wide even, racing back here, and they somehow keep it together. It goes to show you how very fast and wide this track is. But right now, the leader is Cody Lamas, who is pretty much a certified member of the chase for this season. He's high enough up in the points to be locked in. He comes into the race, I believe, 3rd in points, so he's going to be good. And oh, Alex Pedro, he got wicked sideways for a second, and I thought there was a big wreck. Look how big of the packs these cars are running in with the amount of wide racing going on. But another characteristic about this track that I learned from doing co-commentary for Dylan Young's Super Speedway League just recently is that whenever the big one happens, be warned that they're going to hit a wall and pull off a Justin Talampas and flip over many, many times. Meanwhile, up in the front, I see Rue McIntyre kind of leaning a little bit on Henrietta Fitzwater up ahead. But no wrecks have taken place, it looks like. And look who's up at the front. A guy who I was expecting to be a favorite in this race, who is now the leader, P.J. Williams, and another favorite for this race right behind him in Chase Oliver. These are 2 really great play racers. Chase Oliver, I think he would love to get an extra win so he can get a bigger boost up as to getting a wild card spot in the chase, because he's been free falling in points. He comes into this race 24th in the points, but he has that 1 win, which I forget where it took place at. P.J. Williams comes into the race 10th in the points, but he's only just a little bit ahead of 11th, and he doesn't have a win, so he would love to get a win in order to keep his hopes alive for making the chase. Meanwhile, here comes Jesse King, who's on the outside looking into the top 10. I believe he comes into the race, 12th in the point standings coming in, so he would love to get a win and get himself into the top 10. Meanwhile, Ken Thoreau lost a draft, and now he's all the way back there. Look at this great 3-wide race in between Jecko Knight, Larry Hagan, and Eric Burton. They're just hanging around in the back to conserve their moves for the end. And it's been a very, very good racing here with everybody. And now we've got a new leader, Cassandra Renzi, who is another one of those pretty much locked in chase drivers now. She comes into the race 2nd in points, so she will be in the chase. Really, the top 5 in points are pretty much locked. Jessica Sheldon, Cassandra Renzi, Cody Lamas, Chris Washer, and Austin Weiner. Those are all drivers pretty much locked into the chase. While I do have the ticker, let's take a look at the normal layout to see how fast they're going. Look at that. They are going over 260 miles an hour. That is unbelievable. Unparalleled. This is definitely the fastest track of them all. They go 260 miles an hour. An average speed of every lap about near 259. That is just unbelievable. So I can tell whenever a wreck's going to happen, we're going to see some hard impacts and crazy moments in a big wreck. If we have one, that is. Meanwhile, as we look around to see everybody back here, right there is Austin Weiner sporting a brand new paint scheme this week. The Ford EcoBoost car, which is a very nice paint scheme that was made by Seth Cole many months ago. And also, a quick note, some of these paint schemes I got were from the NNSCRA Racing Series Weebly website, where he had the car sets and stuff. So That's where I got some of these cars from, like Seth Cole's 52 car, just to put that out there. Meanwhile, back here, a battle for second between teammates Michael Norman and PJ Williams. And I think Michael Norman, I think he comes into the race 11th in points, but he's got 2 wins, so I think he is a wild card driver at the moment, but actually, I do apologize for that freeze. No, actually, Michael Norman comes in 7th in points, so he's in right now good hands to make the chase. Meanwhile, Cassandra Renzi continues to be the leader. And actually, the top 10 in points coming into the race were Sheldon, Renzi, Lamish, Washer, Weiner, Nichols, Norman, Dutta, Anderson Jr., and P.J. Williams. But P.J. Williams is only 1 point ahead of 11th, and that's Eric Burton. 2 over Jesse King, 5 over David Rivera, and 6 over Dylan Thoreau. So we could see a shakeup as to who is going to get into that 10th position coming into the next race, which will be at Atlanta. And that's the final race of the regular season before the chase. But before the chase starts, after Atlanta, we got the LCQ race at Talladega coming up, where the drivers who didn't make it in get one final shot to make it into the chase as an extra driver, just like we had last season. And actually the season before that, if I can recall. But right now, Cassandra Renzi still holding on to the lead. Meanwhile, back here, Michael Norman has the second spot, but now here comes Charles Jackson. How big would this be for Jackson to pick up his first points win in his Walmart Cup Series career? He made it in the chase last season due to winning the Chase LCQ race at Talladega, but he wants to get himself a points win in order to get that off of his NR2003 bucket list. And right now, right behind him is Zachary Fitzwater, who hasn't won a Walmart Cup race since Watkins Glen back in Season 1. And did my eyes deceive me, or did the caution come out? No, the caution is not out. And now we head to the stripe, and it will be halfway through. So we are halfway through this race here at Piggzcreek. And look at the laps they run at a fast track like this. It's over 4 miles around. They go about 56 seconds around. So this race has been going by pretty quickly. Renzi still leads, but Jackson is coming in fast right behind the 4. Meanwhile, back here, this battle for third has really been getting crazy. Larry Hagan has the spot, but both of the Fitzwaters, Jesse King, P.J. Williams, and Rue McIntyre, Michael Norman all want to go for that spot. But now Larry Hagan's starting to pull a little bit from that battle, and he's now approaching Charles Jackson, following suit in the draft. And here he comes down low, underneath of the 19 of Jackson. And he's hoping to maybe get a run on Renzi for the lead. But Renzi, this would be big for her if she can win this race to get her first points win of her career in Walmart Cup competition, because she's been top 5 in points all season long. Going all the way back to the first race at Daytona, she's been top 5 in points all season long. She has not been out of the top 10 at least in the points all season long. She's just been up there running consistent, although she would love to get a win to put that on her NR2003 resume. Meanwhile, Larry Hagan has gotten the second word, and there is Charles Jackson, who is caught up off high, and now pit stops are taking place. The leaders are coming into pit road. And now that lead is going to cycle over right now to Henrietta Fitzwater, with Charles Jackson right behind them. Ken Thoreau coming out of pit road. I did kind of have a suspicion these drivers were going to have to probably make a pit stop at some point before the race is over, and now those pit stops are taking place. And I see some debris on pit road. There must have been some contact between some drivers, or maybe just some side swipes. from drivers trying to get off of pit road and drivers coming into their stalls. Meanwhile, this is the battle for the lead at the moment between Henrietta Fitzwater and Charles Jackson. And look at that beautiful shot right there. That is amazing. And now here comes Jackson in the pit road, but two drivers, make that three, actually decide to stay out. Dylan Thoreau, Rue McIntyre, and Henrietta Fitzwater, they all elected to stay out an extra lap. Depending on how fast their pit stops are going to be, I don't know if this is a good strategy on the part of these three drivers, Fitzwater, McIntyre, and Thoreau. And Kyle Matthews, I think he's the last car left on the lead lap to have pitted. Meanwhile, I'm trying to find, and Seth Cole's actually coming into pit road. I guess he was another driver who elected to stay out. There's Charles Jackson. As we take a look down on the list of drivers who are maybe lapped, Ken Thoreau is actually a lap down. I think it's because he was the first to come down pit road. But nonetheless, we have not had any cautions or any crashes at all during this race. But at one point earlier when they were going 6 wide, I thought they were going to wreck, but they didn't. Meanwhile, all three of the leaders, Henrietta Fitzwater, Rue McIntyre, and Dylan Thoreau, have now come in the pit road and are now exiting pit road at the moment. And all three of those drivers are Fords. But Henrietta Fitzwater got out first out of these three. And there is Seth Cole. So if these drivers don't get up to speed, this is the battle for the lead at the moment between Michael Norman and Cassandra Renzi. And there is Fitzwater running by herself. And here comes Norman, depending on how quickly they can get to the 43. And they are coming like bullets. They are coming, and they're going to pass Henrietta Fitzwater. So now Michael Norman is the leader with Cassandra Renzi right behind him in the second spot. Michael Norman trying to go for his third win of the season and try to get himself a guaranteed spot in the chase for the championship this season. And remember, his 2 wins this season have come on restrictor play racetracks. He won the Daytona 500 earlier this season, and he won back at M&Ms. And he's up at the front right now here at Piggzcreek, and it is less than 4 laps to go here at Piggzcreek. And right now, the top 9 are within under 2 seconds of each other. Then it goes back to Rue McIntyre, David Rivera, and Dylan Thoreau, among others, back here, who are about 3 seconds behind the leader. And there is Ken Thoreau, who is still a lap down. And wait a minute, Jekko Knight, I think he was coming in to make his pit stop. I think there's something maybe wrong with his car. Let's see his speed. I guess he must have something wrong, because he's only going 60 miles an hour and he's losing speed. Same with Seth Cole. Maybe they didn't get all the fuel in their cars. Or they could be having an inside problem with their cars. I'm not sure, but that is a tough break for Seth Cole and Jekko Knight. 2 drivers who are coming in top 20 in points, hoping to get some good finishes or a win. But it ain't going to happen for him, which is unfortunate for all 3 of those cars. Oh, Jekko Knight. There is Jekko. Oh, man, they better be careful. Oh, man, this will not be good if they somehow hit him. Oh, man, we got to keep an eye out on Jekko. Everybody stay up high. Stay up high. Stay up high. I think Jekko will be okay. But did Seth Cole come into the pits? I believe he has. And indeed, I think he has come down pit road. And I think he might be out of the race. It depends. But Checo, he is slow on track. And the caution is out and the race will be over. Caution has been waived here for the first time today at Piggzcreek, but it's now in the 2 to go situation. And it don't matter. Michael Norman looks like he will win here at Piggzcreek to get his 3rd win of the season. This is both Seth Cole and Checo Knight. And caution must have came out because them two were slow on the track due to fuel problems, it looks like, or an inside problem with their cars. Because I don't see any damaged race cars out there. So my only assumption can be that the caution was brought out because the 52 and the 42 both ran out of fuel and couldn't get again into pit road, and Seth Cole is actually now sideways. Although, wait a minute, there is some smoke. Oh, it looked like a wreck did happen. Because I see skid marks on the racetrack. And actually, Brandon Nichols has damage, so he might have been what the caution was brought for. Gabe Williams with damage. Cody Hagan with damage. Does Alex Hawkins have damage? I don't know. It don't look like he does. I think there must have been an incident involving Gabe Williams and Brandon Nichols. And wait a minute, does Anthony McCurry have damage? I think he does. I think McCurry must have been involved in whatever this was. Well, we'll stay here until they take the white flag, which is now. So now we're going to take a look at a replay to see what brought the caution out for the first time and the only time today here at Piggzcreek, since we are on the last lap. Let's take a look at what happened. Well, this was actually during the caution. Alex Hawkins is slowing down as everybody else slows down. Gabe Williams gets into the back of Hawkins. Hagan in the back of Williams. Nichols in the back of Hawkins. And there's where McCurry gets damaged. Eric Burden was in there. So I could still assume that the caution came out for the 42 and the 52 sitting on the racetrack due to running out of fuel or something happened with those cars and they couldn't move. And then when the caution came out and they all slowed down, they all just piled into each other. And that's what happened. There you see Checo sitting on the track. But that was a look at what happened. Let's take you to the drivers coming off of turn 4 to take the checkered flag. Well, here are the drivers getting ready to come through the tri-oval to come to the checkered flag. And it looks like Michael Norman will officially get his 3rd win of the season and the 4th win of his career. Michael Norman wins the Piggzcreek 500 at Piggzcreek Superspeedway. And I guess some drivers actually have stopped. I don't know why, but they're all going, but I don't know what's going on. They're all just stopped. But did they all cross the start-finish line is the question. Not everybody. And they're all just skimming sideways because they have to stop. I don't know why they're stopping. But they're all trying to get across the start-finish line, and it looks like they will. Maybe they all ran out of fuel now or something. I don't know, and I'm not sure, but looks like everybody has crossed the start-finish line. So now we should now take a look at the results. Michael Norman will get his 3rd win of this season and the 4th win of his career. And all 3 wins this season have come on plate tracks. So Michael Norman's showing to be a restrictor play racing master. He is going to win here today at Piggzcreek. Cassandra Renzi tried, but it just wasn't enough for her. But she's going to come away with a solid 2nd. Henrietta Fitzwater, great run of 3rd. Solid performance for her. Biggie Spencer, a solid 4th place finish. And Charles Jackson gets a great finish of 5th. The rest of the top 10, Zachary Fitzwater, great run for him. Larry Hagan, solid 7th place finish for him. Ryan Anderson Jr. gets a solid 8th place finish. Jesse Setti, Great run of 9th, and Cody Lamas rounds out the top 10. Great run for him. The rest of the top 30 was Kendall Maynard, Chase Oliver, Eric Enrage, David Rivera, Dylan Thoreau, Drew McIntyre, Nick Pericles, PJ Williams, Jordan Culp, and Matt McIntyre. The rest of the top 30 was Charles Sanford, Jesse King, Austin Weiner, Sonny Hammond, Justin Talampas, Trent Dunham, Jessica Sheldon, Ian Dutta, Michael Walden, Alex Pedro. The rest of the top 30 was Alex Hawkins, Chris Washer, Cody Hagan, Eric Burton, Dylan Young, Kyle Matthews, Ken Thoreau, Gabe Williams, Brandon Nichols, and Anthony McCrory. And then 2 cars who I don't think were out of the race, but I guess they got the fuel in their cars and somehow were able to finish, Seth Cole and Jekko Knight. But that does it for our coverage today here at Piggzcreek. We got 1 race left until the chase, and that is going to be at Atlanta. We'll see you then, but until then, here are your results, rookie points, and regular points.
You'll be amazed at the things that a person can do when they have enough drive and the right state of mind. Nobody's ever gonna even get close to your shine. So if you find you wanna be a doctor, a priest, an astronaut, a fireman, or join the police, be on the silver screen, become a movie star, or be a pro racer and drive fast cars. It don't matter the age, it don't matter the color, it don't matter the gender or who you love. If you got it in your heart, then go ahead and do it. If you have a gift, then please go ahead and use it. Cause I was feeling stupid while trying to do music, thinking that I had no voice and that I was useless. But as I write this down, I can see what I mean. Nobody ever will stop me from achieving my dreams.